Well, hello, and welcome to My Time TV. This is community TV with Adaire, moi, TV for you by TV for me. Now, what I do in these shows is I talk to people in the community who are doing amazing things to help each other and add value to the lives of people around them. Now, this could be anything from meditation to doing a yoga class, learning to cook, gardening, healing, reading tarot cards, physical fitness, whatever it is you're interested in, it's going to be covered here. Now, one of the things that I am covering today is something a little bit exciting and slightly different from normal, but I'm actually talking to the lovely Tracey Hunt. Now, she's actually a MLM. I'll give you her bio, and then we'll talk to Tracey about what it is that she does that's so special that helps you in your life and it can enhance your life. So Tracey is drawing on her past experiences and huge successes in the direct sales, network marketing, MLM industry. And what she does is she helps mums or moms, depending on which side of the planet you're on, who are keen to generate an income or create their own economy and stay at home and look after their children at the same time. Or for whatever reason, if you're a bit older, like myself, and you've done with the workforce and you want to do something that for yourself, then this is a great option as well. Tracey's important work is she actually includes bringing mums together from home-based businesses, bringing them together. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words here this afternoon. The whole focus is on having a collaborative environment and building friendships and building a community together. The whole idea is to inspire each other and also to inspire other mums to become their own boss, to find their passion and to live the lives that they really do want to live, because quite often we live our lives for other people. This gives us an opportunity to live our lives for ourselves, which I believe is really, really important. Now, Tracey grew up in rural Western Australia, and her early years were spent on the family farm, where 4 generations of the family lived together. Now, this is really interesting because that's love to hear more about that when I bring Tracey on, because that was really quite an interesting, would have been a very interesting childhood to grow up with four generations. It actually instilled in her strong family ties, and despite living around the world in different locations since then, she remains a country girl at heart. She has extensive experience in business. Her first business she ran part-time was studying psychology at the University of Western Australia. Her second business came about after she moved to another part of the country with a fiancé, where she saw an opportunity for a catering business in a mining town that would support local miners and also the corporate staff of those mines. So she has also owned a food court business in a city shopping centre, and spent the last 2 decades in the network marketing industry at a leadership level. So it has given her the opportunity to live and work in Asia, and it showed her the importance of the right balance of work, play and lifestyle. She is the creator of Mums Business Expos Australia, and through her online and live courses, she teaches the fundamentals of building a network marketing business with longevity and high retention. Interesting. I've got so many questions I want to ask you, Tracey. Welcome to Community TV with Adaire. How are you?
I'm good. I'm exhausted just listening to all of that stuff. How am I that old?
Oh my God, I'm reading through it and I'm going, I want to know about this. I want to know about what was it like in Asia and how did you get from there to there? But anyway, we'll get there. There's always so many questions. So what I'd like to ask, if you are here and you are joining us for this show, you're welcome to ask questions. Just type them in the chat bots. You can tell where my head's been for the last week. Chat in the comments thread below, and we can answer your questions if you have anything around network marketing, MLM, any questions at all, I'm sure Tracey won't mind taking them on notice. We didn't actually talk about this beforehand, so I'm putting her on the spot. but I'm sure that Tracey's actually also, and we haven't mentioned this, but she's also written a book. Now, what's the name of your book, Tracey?
The name of the book, and this is it here.
It's called, just hold it down.
Better in your PJs.
Everything's better in your PJs. Love it, love it. That's so cool. So, and you'll share that with us as well. Let's see.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. So this is the book. So we'll find out later how you can get hold of that book. Awesome stuff. Tracey, do you want to share a little bit about you? I'm really interested in how you've gone from being a businesswoman, studying psychology into business, and then migrating into MLM. So just I'd love to hear. So.
Cool. Look, I think a lot of it was actually to do with my upbringing. So growing up, as you said, I lived on a farm with my great-grandfather, my grandparents, my dad and mum, and there were 3 other cottages on the farm as well. So in those cottages were my uncles and their wives and their kids. So we pretty much grew up with 4 generations of the family. I had a very unique grandmother who, a lot of the women during World War II worked during the war to, help with different supplies. And my nana was one of those rare ladies that continued working after her husband came home from the war. And, just being around that environment of having everyone with a little bit of a different mindset, and all of my family worked at the same spot, so they'd all chuff off to work in the morning. Us kids would get left with my great aunt and uncle, who were my granddad's sister. We'd get left with them for the day while all the adults were at work. And so we just grew up in this thinking outside the box kind of mentality. And my very first entrepreneurial thing was actually when I was 15, showing my age here now. So for those who would remember Ash Wednesday, I did a fundraiser for Ash Wednesday, which then turned into a part-time business. And my first part-time business was actually looking for babysitting jobs for all of my friends and getting a cut of all of their babysitting jobs as well, because I was one doing all the bookings.
Oh, wow. That's very clever. Very clever.
And that was at 15.
Yeah, so there's that entrepreneurial streak that has, yeah. So from 15, and you've had these businesses, how did that morph into the network marketing?
Look, my first, I guess, proper business was when I was at uni. I used to do house cleans. They were exit rental cleans for a real estate agent. So when tenants moved out, I would go in and I'd clean the house and get it ready for new tenants. And that was sort of my bread and butter while I was going through uni. Then after uni, I met this guy on the other side of the country, and I moved to Queensland to be with him. And again, I moved into this mining town, and all the mining camps were starting to shut down. And so, you had guys who'd lived in these mining camps, for some of them for as long as 20 years, and they hadn't so much as had to cook a meal for themselves for 20 years. Well, that is a great little niche out of a business. And I did it was called Home Alone Catering. And so I used to do home cooked meals, and I'd do 3 days a week. And on top of that, I was doing corporate functionally and the other major. Got to cook for one of the US presidents doing this.
Oh, wow.
But it's really interesting cooking and having Secret Service hanging over your shoulder to make sure you're not going to pour.
I bet you could write a book about that too.
It was an interesting experience. And really from there, when my ex and I split up, I sort of still had this bug of owning a restaurant. So I ended up buying 3 businesses in a food court. Madness. I'd never do it again. So I'll be 3 days a year. I had Christmas Day and Good Year. And every other day I left for work in the morning so I could get to put the roast in the oven by 5, so they're ready when the doors opened at 9, and I'd get home at 10:30 at night. So I did that for a few years, and I thought, this is a mug's game, working 363 days a year,
Totally.
15 hours, 16, 17 hours a day. And it was around that time that I, came across network marketing, and I was an opportunity. I was, as I said, I was a mug's game, working 3/4 of my life and never having time off. Not to mention the cost of getting involved in it and the cost of keeping it running. I guess it was because I had the entrepreneurial mindset that I do network marketing. And, I had that because it did get me off to a fast start. But nowadays I wouldn't want to go back to a normal bricks and mortar style business, because the overheads are ridiculous style or time with it. It's going, and you either may as well have a job, or you may as well do a business where you can make a real impact.
Yes, I think with technology, and we'll talk about that in a little while, because I think as I said before, have a look at your crystal ball, because technology is taking it to a whole new level. But what do you do now? So you've been in network marketing for a couple of decades, and now you are you've sort of moved sideways, I guess, from there. How would that?
Yeah, look, it's been an interesting journey. So I was with the one company for 15 years, which is rather unusual. I'm a very loyal heart, and if you are going to, that's actually a really good quality. And I guess I was lucky. I found something that was in line with my passions. I've been one of those ones that was on echinacea and vitamin C and all that stuff, years and years ago. So very lucky that it was a nutrition company that I stumbled across at the right time. And really from there, over a 20-month period, I was working at the time 70 hours a week in a job. Over a 20-month period, I was able to build my business up to be earning just under triple what my old full-time income had been. And really after that, I spent the next 13 years just traveling the world, living in different countries. I built a team in 14 different countries around the world, which was an amazing experience in its own, because I got to understand different cultures and really experience the world in a different way than as a tourist. And from there, it was, the company were going through some changes. They started to swing more towards sports nutrition, which for me, the old me, would have been fantastic, because I have actually represented my state in a couple of sports. But
Wow.
My life was going in a different direction as well. So I'd had a couple of accidents. I like motorbike riding and anything that's a bit of an adrenaline junkie thing. And I've had to have reconstructive surgeries to my wrist, my knee, my shoulder, my ankle, and unfortunately none of them are as good as they could be. And so when my company was going through some changes and shifting more to sports nutrition, suddenly I wasn't a match for my company anymore, and I was finding it was impacting on my confidence in myself. I'd gained a bit of weight because of all my surgeries. I wasn't able to lose it because I wasn't able to be as active as I normally am. And it became this little spiral of being, knocking around my confidence, the company not wanting to put me on stage anymore because I was overweight, and that knocked my confidence around even more. And so I got to this point where I realised, for my, mental health, and for me long term, it would be better for me to walk away. And so that's what I did. It was very difficult, because I loved the company I was involved with, and I still use their products today. I still recommend to people, to my friends that are in the company. But I needed a new direction. And when I resigned, I thought, God, what am I going to do now? Like, physically, I can't go back to my old industry of hospitality, because I haven't got I can't hold things in both hands anymore, and can't be on my feet for 10 hours a day anymore, and things like that. And so one of the things that happened when I resigned, every man and his dog that I never knew was involved in network marketing approached me wanting me to join their business. And I learnt a few things out of that. One, I learnt that there's a hell of a lot more companies out there than I realised, and I started to go to meetings and listen to different trainings, and I did actually get offered a couple of corporate jobs, which when you've had the lifestyle for 15 years, to go into corporate and do that whole gig was like, yeah, not really. It didn't really attract me. But what I did realise is that there's a lot of commonalities with a lot of companies, some really great stuff. And there's also some gaps that are missing in terms of the training. And you know, a lot of the other trainers out there are training how to become a 2%er, how to be in the top 2% of your company. And I was lucky enough to have achieved that. I didn't earn $1 million a year or anything. My best year was just under 120,000. But most people out there would
That's
like
pretty
that kind
respectable.
of income. And I thought, absolutely. And, you know, and I thought, well, what if I just teach people, you know, what I knew and what I taught my own team. And, you know, I focus on the 97, 98% that all the other trainers are ignoring. And so that's kind of where I went, and that's where the book came along. So the book covers the basics of, and it's not just for network marketing either, but if you're in business, it covers the basics of the things that you need to look at before you get into business so that you make the right choice for you. You choose something in line with your passions, and you understand what's going to be needed by you to be in business. You know, it does take some time. It does take effort. You know, you've got to be willing to grow as a person as well if you want your income to grow. So I cover all those basics in the book. So it's there for a new person who maybe doesn't know.
Can you show us?
Yep.
Just give us another thing. Everything's better. And that's Tracey with hair.
Yeah, that was me with long hair.
That was you with long hair. Everything's better in your PJs. Where can people get that if they're interested in having a look at the book?
It is actually available on Amazon as a ebook.
Okay, so we'll get a link and we'll pop that in the comments as well. So, yeah. Okay, I'm just making a note.
And so really from there, what developed was that I had a lot of people approach me saying, you know, will you train me? And I thought, well, I've got companies that want me to train their industries. I've got individuals that want me to train their teams. Here's my new business. And that's in essence what I've been developing. This year, 2017, we've been running Mums Biz Expos around Australia. So as Adaire said, it's expos to bring together, you know, mums at home. You know, when you do work from home, you can get a little bit isolated. So it's to bring a group of like-minded women together. You've all got the same challenges. You're all trying to juggle family and business and all the rest of it, and really learn how to work together, collaborate together. We bring special guests like Adaire in to help give you some education as well. Each city is obviously different with that because we try and access local experts, and it's really, you know, about building a community, educating, collaborating, and really help change the industry so that when you say to people you're involved in network marketing, you do it with absolute passion and absolute pride in it, that, you know, and I know if you've been around a while, you do feel that way because you know that the value of it is so much more than about money. But for those who are, you know, a bit nervous about sharing it because they get a bit of negative answers from some friends, it's changing that perception out there so people really understand what it is you do and what the real value is, that it's not about just money, it's not about sales. It's actually about relationship building. It's about growing as a human being, becoming better parents, better spouses, and actually making the entire community a better place.
So it's more than the product, and I think that's something that's that people. And I know when I first got into network marketing, for me it was like the product, and I completely missed all the salient points on about what does Zig Ziglar say? If you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want.
You'll get what you want, yep.
And but it was I think I probably, when I lacked in finesse, I made up for in exuberance. but I think I pissed a few people off along the way. But I think you're right. It's going on that journey and becoming a better person through the process. is yeah. So do you have any more tips on, like, oh, first we can pop back to you say you help help MLM, direct sales, network marketing mums through running expos. So are there other ways that you help them as well, or like what sort of things do you do?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So basically, I run the expos. I do those in each of the capital cities in Australia at the moment. The plan is to take them wider. We've already had some interest from our Kiwi cousins to head over there. And
Can I come?
do some online courses, and I've got a couple. And I've got a couple of projects that'll be free. So if you're interested to know about that, I'm not going to say too much now because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet. But it'll all be promoted through Mums Biz Expos Australia Facebook page, and there's some really exciting stuff coming. I kick off at the beginning of every year with a goal planning workshop, which is a really great place to get clear on your why. If you're not doing in your business what you know you should be doing in your business every day right now, it's probably because you're not clear on your why. And so we're really going to delve deep on that, on the goal planning at the beginning of that session in January. Yeah. And then the other things that are being released, we've got a really special event or a special tool being released on the 14th of February, a special Valentine's gift for everyone, and lots of other stuff. So yeah, just stay tuned. There's a lot of things coming through that are going to be available online, so that anyone worldwide can access them. And really, what it's for, it's for people who love the industry, love what you do, you absolutely love changing people's lives, and you want to actually help change that perception of the industry as well, so that more people come and join you rather than don't even look at it because they've got a misconception of it.
I think that's a lovely segue into my next question for you, was like the crystal ball. So when you my dad has been I think he was in about 22 different network marketing companies, and he's always been, I think he was an entrepreneur before his time, because I was talking to Mum about it the other day, and he had, I think, the first and one of the only health shops in South Australia in the 70s. That was before, it was very hard to get hold of health supplements, and I think Blackmore's was a pretty big one there back then. But he had fruit and veg shop, and he had health food products as well. And I think our family was looked upon as like those sort of hippie people. But he would supplement he could see, I think, the benefit of getting into network marketing, and I think he could see that there was absolute validity in the model. He was one of the early adopters for Amway, and in fact, I know Amway held up our family financially for quite some time. And then, but I have no idea that, like, there was a whole heap of others. Mum said there was about 22 all up, and I'm thinking, I don't even know if I know that many companies, network marketing companies. But back then, there was, you really running a shop. I suppose you could, your customers come in to buy some apples, and you could sell them, a cookware set at the same time if you're in that way, or some, cleaner or something. But that was really, you were limited to your footprint of where you lived and your family and friends and who you knew in your little echo chamber. So I'm interested, and I know you said you've written a bit about that in your book. I'm interested in where you see the industry going, and perhaps how technology can help build the industry, because it's absolutely a solid option for people who are really wanting to make a go of it for themselves. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look, there's a few things inside that. So where we are from a point of view of humanity right now, obviously computers and robots and all sorts of other technology is taking over a lot of our manual work now. And so there's a lot of people, in Australia, we've just had a big industry shut down. We've, basically Ford, who are one of the major car manufacturers in Australia. In Australia, you're either a Ford person or a Holden person. And, you know, Ford have closed down. And so that's just
Well,
one
Holden's have
example.
here in Adelaide as well.
Yeah, there's massive industries closing down all over the place. You know, that was just the car industry. And what happens with that is that you have this whole segment of the community that are now without work. All their skills are in a particular set, and now you've got massive unemployment for that industry. And so there's people out there, and this is going to continue. Like, we are moving more towards working less hours at the moment. So I think it was Switzerland recently have brought in a 30-hour week. So things are starting to swing the other way. And what will happen as people get less and less hours, obviously we won't get the income of a full-time job. So we're going to have a second income or a second source of supporting our families. So just from that aspect alone, there's a really important reason to do something now about it rather than wait 10 years when it becomes really crucial. Secondly, you know, because I grew up on a farm and I saw this happen in the country all the time. When you live in a country area, you can have, you know, things like floods or fires or hail or, you know, some kind of natural disaster come through, and it can completely destroy your crops for the year. And that means not only are your family without income for the year, but your entire community, as the whole town is, because everyone in that town, the general store, the co-op, the post office, everyone relies on the income of those big farmers in the industry. So when they're not getting any money, the whole town suffers. And so, you know, for me, it's really about educating women. And you know, it's not that I'm excluding guys, but there's so much out there that's pointed towards guys in terms of most of the trainers out there are training guys and from a male perspective. And I really want to touch on the female perspective and say to women that you can still be your feminine self and still be a mum. You don't have to lose that and become a corporate kind of being to run a home-based business. And that's the beauty of it. And we can have a major impact, not just on our families, but on our communities, you know, our local communities and broader as well. There's just such massive value in there. When I first started network marketing 17 years ago, we barely had the computer. In fact, I remember the first time one of my sponsors said to me, "Oh, just copy and paste something." And I'm thinking, how the hell do I get scissors into my computer? That's
Yes, I remember that when I started uni, and I'm going, what's this copy and paste? So I used to do it physically. Yes.
Exactly. And so, yeah, that was when I started, and I'm actually really grateful that's when I started, because it actually meant that I had to learn how to talk to people and you know, deal with objections up front and things like that, all the scary stuff. But the scary stuff is actually what helps you grow as a human being. And it's the scary stuff and through your growth that actually helps your income grow. And so what I say to you with technology is, by all means, use technology. As you know, the social media platforms are a fantastic way of building business. And we're able to connect now internationally so much easier than we could in the past. And none of us live in a bubble. We've got friends and family all over the world. So it's a fantastic way, you know, with network marketing to build an international business. But I would be mindful of building it all online and all inside social media, because if you do that, you're not actually getting the personal growth that you need as well. So I'd always make sure you've got an element that actually stretches you a little bit outside your comfort zone. Copying and pasting the same post and then just putting it on 20 different groups doesn't help you grow. But by
not only
dealing
that,
with objections faced, you do get to grow.
I was going to say, not only that, it pisses people off. So you actually repel people by doing that sort of thing. So, yeah. So I think that's a really good, like we're out of time actually. That's gone really fast. That half an hour's just flown. But I think that that, like you said, just touched on dealing with objections, learning to relate to people on a personal level, even on social media, where you do, like I believe the offline stuff is critical, especially when you're first starting. getting out to, to meet people and going to network meetings, that type of thing. But also, if you're doing it online, what I would love to see, and it's my great passion to see your online presence and your offline presence be exactly the same. So, it's like going to a network meeting and then just yelling in someone's face and then moving to the next person and yelling the same thing in their face and the next person. You just don't do that. So it's so thinking about yourself as the same online as you are offline, so people will find you, sort of help. Sure, you've got to advertise, sure, you've got to promote your product, but it's how you go about it that's really, really critical. And online, especially with places like social media platforms like Facebook, getting really cracking down on that, because they're there for the consumer. They're not there for the network marketer or any other business for that matter. So it's just a matter of working out how you can connect with people. So what I'm going to do, speaking of connecting, people can connect with you. What I've done is I have put a link above this this broadcast. It's in the post up there. It is Tracey's business page, so you can just go and hop onto her business page and send her a message, or you've got maybe a phone number there as well. Thinking perhaps just send her a message in the inbox or on the business page, which is I didn't put it up here. What's your business page? It is, let's see, I thought I had it written down.
mumsbizexpo.com.au.
Okay, so that's let me just write that down. That's your website, www.mums, I wrote bum, mumsbizexpo.com.au. Is that correct? Okay, yep. So I put your business page, your Facebook business page, in the link above, but if you want to connect with Tracey on her website, you can go there as well, mumsbizexpo.com.au. That is awesome. So any last words that you would like to share with us? Any last thoughts?
Yeah, look, my last thought is that one of the things I said with the expos and the other platforms I have, we bring in experts from different fields to help educate you, and that's actually how I met Adaire. I happened to see this ad about learning how to professionalise my Facebook page, and Mums Biz Expo is not looking real professional at the moment. Where it's a work in progress, because my expertise isn't social media. My expertise is network marketing. Guessing that's the case for most of our listeners as well. So, plug in with what Adaire's doing. She's got, and really, because the algorithms and the rules and everything are constantly changing, you really want to have someone like Adaire on board with you as part of your support system for your business, so that you can stay ahead of the game. Because that's the only way that, in particular with multi-level marketing businesses, that you'll be able to not only stay ahead of the game, but actually stay in the game on social media.
Yes, yeah. And I know, just quick story here, I had one of the girls who's in our Facebook Code Breakers group was saying how she's not in network marketing, but she does, she's a health and fitness coach, and she was talking about doing some ads for weight loss. Now, that's a very common, very popular one for network marketers, but she couldn't get her ads passed because she was using the wrong terminology. Now, I would imagine that if network marketers are coming up against this again and again and again, because you're just not aware of the right things and the right way to go about doing your posts or your ads and that type of thing. So I love helping people, and I know you do too, Tracey. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I appreciate you sparing the time to come and share this time with me and share your expertise and your wisdom. If you are watching this back, just check out Tracey at www.mumsbizexpo.com.au, or you can contact her using the link, the business page above the broadcast here. And on that note, we will say goodbye. Thanks again. This is Community. Oh, and Adam is here. He's saying great to see us both. So we've got, hang on, I'll just pop that up there. So Adam, lovely to see you too. And it's like, hi, bye. So we'll see you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. for Community TV with Adaire on mytimetv.live. Bye for now.